7:39, approaching 7:40 in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, apart from so many other things going on in the country, cabinet reshuffle, crime and violence, cabinet reshuffle, cyber security has come very much into the forefront. Over the last month and a half, there have been two major global attacks. The latest one earlier this week coming out of the Ukraine in Eastern Europe, and lots of concerns from major corporations and companies around the world. Clearly, there's relevance to us here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. So how do we prepare? How do we cope with these different challenges? Well, Caribbean Event Consultants Limited and the Caribbean Cybersecurity Center, they're hosting a series of information sessions to address those concerns. It's beginning July the 26th at the Center of Excellence in Macoya. And let me give you some of the basic information before we go to our guest who will provide us with some more detail. If you want to register for these sessions, there are going to be a number of them that we'll talk about in a moment on four different occasions. July 26th at Center of Excellence, August 9th at the Chamber of Commerce in West Moorings, August the 23rd in the Southland at a venue to be determined, on September the 6th or in Tobago, so not forgetting Tobago, that venue will also be sorted out. If you want to register for the event, you are required to contact Ms. Lewis at Caribbean Events Consultants, 727-2673, or Ms. John at 470-2374, or you can email info@caribbeaneventsLimited.com. That's info@caribbeaneventsLimited.com, and again those numbers 727-2673 or 470-2374. If your head is spinning and you want it to be cleared up, well, we have Deon Olton, the co-founder of the Caribbean Cybersecurity Center, just joining us from Barbados. Not a long journey. We'll get here quickly enough. Good to have you with us, sir. Thanks very much for joining us. So, tell us what people are going to be exposed to at these sessions.
Okay, so the sessions are geared, they're rules-based, first of all. So we are targeting all members in organizations, whether private sector or governmental, and we're targeting the areas that employees need to know about today, right? Because the threat landscape is constantly changing. Hackers of today are not necessarily trying to break in the firewalls and the technical side. They're using the easiest way in. They're like engineers, engineers building, fixing problems. They tend to focus on the easiest way to solve a problem, not the hardest way to solve it. So hackers are the same. And hackers tend to focus on employees. So employees tend to be one of the weaknesses within the whole information security ecosystem, right? So some of the things that we teach, and we go through different scenarios, we spend time with the employees and go through email scams and phishing attempts, and how people can use your social media.
Because I'm glad you raised that point, Mr. Olton. Sorry for interrupting you, but it tends to happen that employees are more inclined to take risks and go on all sorts of sites on the company website than on their own, because they know if the company shut down, it has nothing to do with them, even though they might have caused it.
Right.
How does a company deal with a situation like that?
Well, I think it all starts with awareness. So that's why these sessions are so important. I think every company has a responsibility to recognize that as a part of the disaster recovery and business continuity plan, that it needs to be certain elements involved in it to keep the business running. They need to understand that staff are exposed to the internet, and they're exposed to the risk and the threats that come to their company every day, whether in Trinidad, whether in Barbados, whether in Jamaica. All companies across the region, and I say the region because I think in the region we're a lot of way behind in terms of being prepared. Yeah. So some of the things that we go through, we educate the users and bring about behavioral change and hope that they will have security-minded behavior in their DNA. So it's a part of their way of life at work. So they make responsible decisions, and then they also encourage other staff members to make responsible decisions at work.
So who stands to benefit from these particulars? How are they going to be, like workshop sessions, interaction, dialogue, sort of things?
So the workshop sessions, all the participants are going to be able to walk away with tangible knowledge that they can use at work and at home, because technology doesn't just exist in the office.
Correct.
When you go home and you're doing your banking on your PDA, on your iPad, your Surface or whatever, the same measures that you use to protect your business or your company data are the same measures you're going to use at home. So we push a lot of training, a lot of guidance, a lot of scenarios, and it's rules based. So whether you're a janitor who have access to a computer to order brooms, to the CEO who has all of the data on his computer, on emails on his phone, who work remotely, there's levels of training, and it's also based on the company's need.
And is it therefore, because it's always changing, as you said, the hackers are always finding different ways, looking for more loopholes, different ways they can get in to your system to mash it up or try to get some money from you. And because cyberspace is available to everyone, everywhere, anytime, anyhow, does it make it an extremely difficult environment to regulate or to protect? Is the correct term?
It is a difficult ecosystem to protect and to regulate, because if you put, and it's interesting that you're leading me straight into the cyber bill that is at Parliament right now. And in Barbados, for example, we have something called the Computer Misuse Act, and we reviewed that a couple weeks ago, and we shredded it to pieces because it was written back in 2014. Today is obsolete. I'm sure the same thing is going on in Trinidad
Something
today.
you might write yesterday could be obsolete today.
Obsolete today because the threat landscape keeps changing. So, we need to move quickly, at least have some legislation in place where we can prevent, investigate, and prosecute the crimes as a start. Because if you have nothing, then guys from Bulgaria and the Eastern European bloc are going to fly to the region, perpetrate crimes that they can't perpetrate in those regions, and walk away. And then our laws are just going to give them a slap on the wrist, and they walk away with lots of money.
Well, I don't know what happens in the Barbados Parliament, the Trinidad Parliament. Well, let me don't go there. Time doesn't allow us for that. But as far as these particular sessions, and again, the first one will be July 26th, the last will be September the 6th in Tobago. The first will be at the Center of Excellence in Mokoya. Have they been structured in the context of what would have just happened as well, those last couple of global events? Because as you said correctly, you might prepare something for a particular event coming up, and in between that time, so many things could happen that could change the dynamic. Yes,
we keep updating the training, so the training is current. We include training from years before, because some of the hacks and ways how employees are breached before are still relevant today. So, but we always keep moving the bar, updating our training, ensuring that our customers are well aware of the present day threats. And that's why it's so important. So we encourage all employees or all businesses to send their employees to come out, be a part of the training, make the staff a little more secure, because you can put all the technical configurations in place, but if you lack the element of training of your staff, you have essentially left all your windows and doors open.
By the way, while we're having this, is there a deadline for registration?
The deadline for registration is, I think we're gonna start registration in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
For the first Mokoya session, and then we're going to do a big media campaign and blast. And I'll probably have to come back to Trinidad and speak to you again about.
Indeed, by then we might have two more global
two more breaches.
Yes. That would have happened. Is it the case, Mr. Olton, that in the same way as in Trinidad and Tobago, we feel we'll never get hit by a hurricane until we eventually get hit, and then start to put things in place? Is that the same thing with businesses, or are they more proactive, recognizing the realities of cybersecurity?
I think we're still playing that wait and see game. It hasn't happened as yet, so don't do anything. But I think it isn't like a hurricane. The threats exist every day and all around us, 24/7. So that's why it's different to a hurricane. I think and it can affect your business, right? Not being able to have access to your point of sale systems if you're in retail and distribution, not being able to contact your customers. There's so many different facets of your business that rely heavily on IT, and information security awareness isn't just about the configuration of routers and firewalls that the technocrats talk about. It also looks at the different areas of your business that can bring about transformational change within your staff, their behavior, and as a result reduce the risk to your company.
Indeed, a lot of it has to do with an attitude in many respects. So let's give the contact information once again very, very quickly before we wrap up. If you want to register, again, the first opportunity for this cybersecurity training. It's going to be at the Center of Excellence in Macoya, July the 26th, and then more information will be rolled out subsequently. Registration is going to start very shortly. You can call 727-2673 or 470-2374. You can email info@caribbeaneventsLimited.com, and you can rest assured, even a dinosaur like me would be aware that things are happening so quickly in this environment. You really want to be on top of this situation. So Olton, thanks very much for joining us. Good to have you here with us this morning to enlighten us about this opportunity, and we'll see how things develop as time goes by. We'll be back right after this break.